Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to a new video. Today I am going to be ranking my top 5 monster collecting RPG games. And they're all amazing, awesome games. With that being said, let's get right into my top 5 monster collecting RPG games. Alright, so first off, at number 1, we got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky for the Nintendo DS. I am going to make a big statement here, and I am going to say that I believe this is the best Pokemon game that has ever been made. I believe that the gameplay in this, the storytelling, and the other aspects of this game are better than in any other Pokemon game ever made. So the first thing that makes Pokemon Mystery Dungeon so incredibly good is that the game is way more challenging than the mainline Pokemon games. In the mainline Pokemon games, one of my biggest complaints has been that they're always too easy. And in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I have gotten multiple game overs and playthroughs of the games. Not only are the games a lot more challenging than the mainline Pokemon games, but also the games have a lot more depth to the combat in the games. So in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you can move around your Pokemon and you can reposition them in different areas to hit with certain attacks or dodge certain enemy attacks. And because of that, there's a whole entire other aspect to the combat that's not in the mainline Pokemon games, where you got to make sure you're positioning your Pokemon well, make sure that you're positioning them intelligently, and that you're really moving around in battles and positioning your Pokemon in the right places. Another great thing about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is that when you go into the dungeons where you fight other Pokemon, the dungeons are different every time you go in. The layouts of the dungeons are randomized, which is why the game is called Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, because every time you go into the dungeon, it's a different layout. It has different enemies in different places, different items in different places. The stairs to the next floor are always going to be in a different spot. And because of that, everything always feels fresh, unique, and it always feels different. You're not going through the same area with the same stuff at the same places. Aside from that, you can also battle with multiple Pokemon at the same time, instead of like mainline Pokemon where you can only battle 1v1. Instead, in Mystery Dungeon, you can battle with 2 or more Pokemon at once, which is something you cannot do in the mainline Pokemon games, unfortunately. And so that adds even more strategy to the combat. Another amazing thing about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky is the story in the game. In the games, instead of playing a Pokemon trainer, you instead play as the Pokemon themselves. And the Pokemon are so awesome and they're well written and the characters are great. And each Pokemon has their own unique personality that makes them very memorable. Overall, to summarize about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, way more challenging than the mainline Pokemon games, way more depth to the combat, way better story and writing than the mainline Pokemon games, amazing soundtrack, and it is just overall an incredible monster catching game. Now we're going to go on to the number 2 monster collecting RPG game that I'm putting on the list. At number 2, we have Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. This is my favorite Shin Megami Tensei game of all time, and this game is an incredible monster collecting RPG game. First off, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne has an incredible art style. The game's graphics, in terms of the art style, have aged very well. They have a very unique style to them and they look really great. This game is awesome because you can collect so many different monsters to battle with you, and then you can go and you can fuse monsters, combine them together into a new, more powerful monster, and then carry over skills from the monsters that you used to fuse that monster onto the new monster so you can pass skills from one monster to another monster. Not only is that really good in the game, but the combat is awesome. The battle system, the press turn battle system, is a really great battle system. It's very easy to learn, but it has a lot of depth to it, and the game is very challenging. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne is considered to be one of the hardest RPGs ever made by a lot of people, and the bosses in the game are very unique. You gotta use very unique strategies to defeat some of the bosses, and there's some really cool boss fights in the game. Not only are those aspects really good at the game, but the dungeons that you go through in SMT Nocturne are really well done. The puzzles in them are very unique, they're very thought-provoking, and they take a lot of thinking and creativity to solve the puzzles in the dungeons. One dungeon can be completely different from another and really force you to think about how to solve the puzzle, and it really puts your puzzle solving skills to the test. In SMT Nocturne, you can also recruit Dante from the Devil May Cry games as a playable character to join you and battle monsters with you. If that is not one of the most awesome things ever, I don't know what is. Devil May Cry 3 is one of my favorite action games ever made, and to get Dante from that series and have him as a playable character is absolutely amazing. Not only is that really cool, but the game has a fantastic soundtrack and the music in the game is absolutely incredible. The composer of Persona 3, 4, and 5, Shoji Meguro, does the music in SMT Nocturne, and he does an amazing job with the game's soundtrack. Now for the number 3 spot, we got Dragon Quest Monsters 2, the 3DS remake of the game. It was never officially localized outside of Japan, but some awesome fan translators went and fan translated the entire game so that people can play through the game fully fan translated and understand everything that is going on. The original Dragon Warrior Monsters 2 on the Game Boy Color was an awesome game, and this is an incredible remake of that game that completely improves it graphically, massively improves it in the gameplay. This game is an awesome monster collecting RPG game. Do you also want to know something really cool about Dragon Quest Monsters? All the monster and character designs in this game were drawn by Akira Toriyama. Yes, the guy who made Dragon Ball, that's right. The guy who made Dragon Ball did all the monster and character designs in this game. In this remake, they completely improved upon the original game. This game is all about collecting monsters, recruiting them to join you, battling with them, and then you can take 2 monsters, breed a new monster, and carry over skills and other things to the new monster that you breeded, and make more and more powerful monsters that way. In this game, there is so much to do. There are so many cool areas to explore. You get to go to all kinds of unique, different rogues in the game. Overall, Dragon Quest Monsters 2 3DS is a fantastic remake and a really great monster collecting RPG game. Coming up at number 4, we got Digimon Cyber Sleuth. This is a fantastic monster collecting RPG game that has a battle system that is similar to Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. You get to battle with up to 3 Digimon in battle, and there is so many different Digimon that you can collect in this game. This game has so much charm to it. It has a really fun combat system. The game is just very, very well made, and it's one of the best Digimon games out there. I very highly recommend this. If you're a newcomer to the Digimon games, this is a great game to pick up and get started with the Digimon games with. Alright guys, and here we are at number 5, my final game on the list. It is going to be Roll of Final Fantasy. This is another great monster collecting RPG game. You can collect monsters like Chocobos, Moogles, Cactars, Tomberries from the Final Fantasy series. And as somebody who is a big Final Fantasy fan, that is absolutely awesome. Not only that, but in this game, you can also do summons where you can summon like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII to do his Omni Slash. Or you can summon Yuna from Final Fantasy X. Or you could summon Terra from Final Fantasy VI. And you can get all these cool different monsters in the game. The game has a lot of really unique mechanics. Each monster gets their own skill tree that you can develop and build to make the monster more powerful. This game is incredibly underrated. I really don't see it getting enough attention, and this is definitely a must-play monster collecting RPG game for Final Fantasy fans. Overall, I want to say thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. As always, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and also follow me over on Twitch. Thank you all so much, and I will catch you all in the next video. Everyone have a great day.